Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Welcome to Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey. Hi. Welcome to episode 56 of Pixels and Bits. I am your host, as always, Corey, and I'm joined by my co-host, Manny. Say hi, Manny.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And for the first time in freaking forever, we are joined by Andrew.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Yes, one of the original Pixels and Bits members is back for a
Awesome.
time.
Hey, it's been a good 49 years since I've been here, so glad to be back. I've learned a lot.
49 years, man, you've aged pretty well. I'm just gonna say,
I age much better than Adam Aggro. That's all I'm saying.
are you the doctor? Anyways, and we are joined by the lovely Erika Szabo.
Hello. It's good to be here.
All right. So, anybody got anything to say before we jump into the news desk?
Well, how about for anyone that doesn't know? How about you really quick? You just say what your YouTube channel's about before we get really involved.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I've been working as a gaming blogger for the past 5 years or so. Less than a year ago, I started a YouTube channel just to change things up. It's mostly on current gen and retro games and anime. So that's going along pretty well so far, and yeah, I'm just having fun with that and blogging. So, yeah.
Vlogging and blogging.
Vlogging and blogging.
That sounds like a Scottish dish. Would you like some blogging and blogging? Anyways, it is time to jump into the Overshield news desk. Hit the music. We're too cheap to put in music, so we just do it ourselves. Anyways, we're going to start with some game release date announcements. First one is Drive Club, which just got delayed again in Japan. In Japan, because Japan's finally getting their PS4 next month, which is really weird. But yes, Drive Club has been delayed for PS4 in Japan, which I'm curious if it means it's going to be delayed in North America again. But I don't know, for a game that I wanted to play at launch, it's delay after delay. It's kind of killing me. It's almost like the South Park game at this point for me. And I got a huge craving for a racing game, and Need for Speed does not fill it. Anyways, next is Octodad, Dadliest Catch, which I've been really, really wanting to play this since they showed it off at E3. This looks awesome.
Yeah, same here. I'm super stoked for it. It's
Now,
so bizarre looking.
It's coming out later this month on the 30th for PC, Mac, and Linux. PS4 has no release date, but they think it'll come out in March. They think. Now, another indie game that's coming out later this month for PC. I'm really excited for this one. Is Tim Schafer's Broken Age. For those who don't know, Tim Schafer's Broken Age is basically a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago, he did a Kickstarter saying, hey, we're doing a new project. Not saying what it is, but we're doing a new project, and basically people just said, oh my god, here's my money! and now we get Broken Age. And I must say, I love good point-and-click adventures, hence The Walking Dead and A Day of the Tentacle are some of my favorites. Myst being another one.
Oh, yeah.
But Broken Age looks really, really, really cool. And it comes out later on January 18th this month. If you didn't know, this month was January. And it is going to release for the price of $25. Wowzers. Now, it's only going to come with Act 1. Act 2 will come along later this year, along with releases on Ouya, iOS, and Android. I was kind of iffy about the whole thing. It's like, oh, you're only going to get Act 1 now. So basically what they're saying is, hey guys, we ran out of money, so we can give you the first half of the game while we finish the second half. And
who knows? So they might be even further in it, though. They just want people to
experience it.
They just want to get them excited and pumped up.
We just want you to experience our love child product.
Okay.
That's that's what I've heard developers actually call games their love childs. It's a little creepy in my opinion, but
So what would you call a game like Sneak King or something? Is that a bastard child?
Oh, hey, wait, Andrew, then what's a game like Make It Rain?
Oh my goodness. I don't even...
Which, for those who are out of the loop, Make It Rain was a simple QTE strip simulator that Andrew had to review a while back. What did we give it, a 1?
I gave it a 1 out of 10, and the only positive thing I can say is the premier QTE strip sim on Xbox Live Indie Game Market.
Now, speaking of Xbox, we're going to talk about Xbox One, more specifically Titanfall. They're actually getting their own special controller, and to me, it looks like someone from BioWare who designed all the Cerberus shit just kind of puked all over it and said, that's good. Because it's just orange and black and white.
It looks awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I get that it looks awesome, but like, I'm just sorry, the colors, like, it just screams Cerberus to me right now. This just
Oh my god, it does. It does.
I don't really play any BioWare games, so I guess I don't see that. I was just like, oh, that looks cool. Now I get to play Titanfall in style.
Yes. Now, Titanfall Alpha is open for registration for Xbox One users. And later, they're going to be sending out beta invites for Titanfall for Xbox One users. So, for those who have an Xbox One, 1, is your wallet recuperating? 2, have this little beta. It'll be fun. I'm actually looking forward to Titanfall. I'm just bummed I won't be able to play it on a next-gen system because I decided to give my money to Sony. And Manny, how well is that working out for us?
I don't know. It's kind of iffy.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm being honest here.
Now, speaking of Xbox and Microsoft, the Xbox One, their hardware sales. God, I'm so tongue twisted today. Their hardware sales from the NPD released for December 2013. They sold a whopping 908,000 units in December, along with the Xbox 360 at 643,000 units, representing 46% of the market share for hardware in the United States. So, what does this scream to me? That we Americans don't give a shit about price point, hence why we're in debt in the first place. Microsoft causes another recession. That's the headliner for 2014. This is what happens when the frat boys and all them fans go and buying their Halo and Call of Duty. They don't pay their tuition and house bills.
Did you pick up any of the next-gen consoles, Erika?
No, I'm waiting. With Xbox One, I'm waiting until Titanfall comes out. And then PS4, I actually had pre-order, but I canceled because I realized that I wanted to wait until more games would come out for it.
I did that for the Wii U last year, and that was a good thing. And then
See, Erika was smart.
And then
Cora and I were just
And then they
impulsive.
had to release the Wind Waker HD bundle when I was saving for the PS4, and I was like, Nintendo, you
yeah.
bastards!
right below the belt. Come on.
Every time like I'm in a point in my life where I need to save money, Nintendo decides, hey, let's release a Zelda themed hardware.
Oh yeah.
I missed it on the Zelda 3DS because I was broke, and I missed it on the Zelda Wii U because I was broke. Fuck you, Nintendo.
And then there's the Steam sales.
Steam sales.
Thank you, Steam, for having me buy over 180 games, most of which I will never even finish. Some I won't even play.
Basically, yeah.
No, like I bought Tim Schafer's Stacking, never played it.
Aw.
I bought all the Grand Theft Autos. Can't play any of them. They all crash. So,
No.
anyways, moving on. We're going on still about Xbox and Microsoft, but more specifically Microsoft this time because we're going to be talking about Windows 9. Already.
Wow.
Windows 9 is reportedly set for a 2015 release. According to The Verge and source Paul Thurrott, the company plans to reveal its vision of Windows 9 at this year's Build 2014 Developer Conference in April, and set a release date for exactly a year later in April 2015 exactly. Now, this just screams like it's like we realized we fucked up, so we're gonna make another one.
You know
And
what would
still
be
charge
perfect?
you.
Corey, you know what would be perfect if they named Windows 9 Windows XP 2.
Oh,
Oof.
no. Windows Vista Pro.
Oh yeah.
No. Oh my god, that's horrible.
We're releasing that Windows 9 isn't quite, in fact, Windows ME Server Edition. For those who remember Windows ME, I'm sorry. That was ME 2000 Vista, worst operating systems ever made. Now, they said that they will bring back the Start menu. That's a step in the right direction. Because I saw no reason to take it away in the first place, because I loved Windows 7. Hence, when I bought my laptop, it was when Windows 8 came out, so I was like, I hope it doesn't come with Windows 8, and it did.
No, I don't understand what these companies are thinking. PlayStation got rid of their start button. Microsoft got rid of their start button, in essence, on their computers.
And
Why is
Nintendo
Nintendo the
had-
only one that has a start button?
Who?
Does Nintendo on the Wii U pad doesn't
don't.
have a start button?
I don't think they have a start button. I think it's just the plus and minus buttons.
What is up with that? Why?
So
actually a
Corey,
good
putting
question.
putting our fanboy pitchforks away, Erica, are you a Windows or Mac person?
I'm using a Mac right now. I could go either way though. Oh, yeah, I could just feel the tension there. I could go either way though. I can't afford to build my own computer right now. So when I can.
No, that's legit.
No.
Now, let's move on and talk about Call of Duty. Now, normally I don't like to talk about Call of Duty, but this little piece of information really caught my attention, and that is on the new multiplayer DLC map pack. There is a map where once you get a certain kill streak going or whatever, you turn into Michael Myers from the Halloween movies. Bloody axe and all, and the music starts playing, and when you get closer to players, the music gets louder.
Oh wow.
That's amazing.
That actually sounds like fun, and I never want to play Call of Duty.
I want to say that like Halo did it first because there was a game mode exactly like that.
Did he just die?
And they had a melee weapon, and they would run around with the music playing through their microphone, so that when they got closer to people, the music would keep going. Now, I can't say Halo did it first because that was a fan mod. I wish I could, but I guess Call of Duty did it first, and I hate to say that. I used to love Call of Duty. I really used to. And then Activision had to be a dick and fire the heads of Infinity Ward. And now I don't like it anymore. Thank you, Activision, for taking something I love. I mean, what are you gonna take next? DJ Hero? Oh wait, they took DJ Hero. Annie, how are you and me gonna practice spinning records now? What are we gonna do to prepare for our shows? We can't go use real DJ equipment, can we?
I guess we'll have to, Corey.
Right. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about a little card game that was a favorite of mine back in the day, and that was Magic the Gathering.
Magic.
Yeah. Now, Fox has been looking at Magic and has said, you know what? Let's make a movie out of that. And so they are.
God.
There's going to be a Magic the Gathering movie.
That was stupid. No. I heard this the other day, actually. I was like, no, don't ruin Magic, please.
No.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, how could they make a movie out of that?
I mean, like, I don't know how you would do it either, because Magic has never really had a plot.
Yeah.
It's just been like a universe. It's just been a universe. It's just a big setting. It's like,
well, that's not exactly true. I mean, there are a ton of books, and there's a lot of lore in the Magic the Gathering universe. And if they take it more towards, if they're staying true to the books, I don't think it would be that bad. It's really rich. It's kind of like, what is it, the 40K universe?
this just in, Fox has hired M. Night Shyamalan to direct Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
At least it's not Michael Bay.
No,
That's
M. Night Shyamalan's way worse. Especially
gonna-
especially after what he did
Avatar.
to Avatar, yeah.
Oh god.
Do we have to remember that one?
No.
No. So we're gonna edit that out of the podcast. No, we're not, actually. I'm not gonna make Tommy do that. Now, moving on to Sony. At this year's Consumer Electronics Show, people were speculating that Sony's going to show off a new virtual reality headset, which to me didn't make any sense, because it probably would have been a lot cheaper for them just to throw out a $10 million check out to Oculus Rift's way, and then them saying, oh my god, yes, we'd love to work with you, especially since they have John Carmack under their belt. But they did. They're now making their own virtual reality headset to compete against the Oculus Rift. So it is called the Sony HMZ T3Q. Man, that's a great marketing name.
Didn't they already have a headpiece a while ago? I was at a Sony Media event some years ago, and they had like this like headgear. It was really heavy though. It was really uncomfortable. I don't know if they just ditched it or what they did. I don't know what it was called either, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think I heard about
it. Was weird. It was like just having like an HD screen for glasses, and it just is really up close to your eyes, pretty much.
Well, that's essentially
Yeah,
what this is.
it's like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Well, that's essentially what this is, because this HMZ T3Q, I'm just going to call it the VR headset. The VR headset has a 720 HD OLED display in each eye, so this is the equivalent of watching a 750-inch screen from 65 feet away. That's like sitting at like right in the front of the movie theater,
Oh,
of the IMAX movie theater.
Oh boy,
Oh my god.
that sounds terrifying.
Now there will
imagine
be
Skyrim on that.
Now, this will also have head tracking. Now, which people are like, oh my god, so it's going to be like the Oculus Rift. Well, here's the problem. The Oculus Rift developer kit goes for $300. The HMZ line of headsets go for around $1,000.
Man.
Sony, I thought we got over this whole little overpricing thing, after the whole $599 US bit. But whatever. Now, I'm still going to support the Oculus Rift over it because, one, it's a Kickstarter project and it's done by an independent guy, so I'll much more support that. But 2, Sony's version doesn't have the 3D technology in it, nor is the head tracking near as accurate from what I hear. So, plus I don't like the fact that I would literally have essentially a skyscraper 65 feet away from my eyeballs in terms of perspective. So no thank you on that one, Sony.
Wouldn't it have just been cheaper for them to buy out Oculus Rift? I mean,
that's what I said. Yes, it just would have been so much easier to do that than spend millions and millions of dollars in R&D. And plus, if you buy Oculus Rift, you get John Carmack. Win-win. I assume he's a package deal. If not, then I would cut the check by $2 million. But
well, look at it on the bright side, Corey. We're that much closer to Sword Art Online, and when that happens, we're checking out.
Yeah, Manny will be never seen again, folks. He will never be on a Pixels and Bits episode. But he will be our reporter from SAO.
Yes.
Manny, how's it doing in SAO today? Well, as you can see, everything is perfect here today because it is a computer game. So what have you been doing today, Manny? Well, I've been trying to grind and kill a bunch of boars, and it's weird whenever I kill one, a treasure chest pops out of his chest cavity. Anyways, now I'm going to talk about Nintendo because they got, I love the 3DS store and everything because you can get a bunch of cool little apps and a bunch of little games. But here's one that I would totally use, even though I completely suck at art. There is a little game or app called Comic Kobo or Comic Studio, and it is an application that allows you to draw manga on your 3DS. And you can draw up to 80 pages and save them as a single project. So, and you can have up to 80 saves. So you can basically just create your whole little manga portfolio on your 3DS. And you can even transfer it to your PC. And it only costs $8.
Oh,
That is awesome.
I would
That's-
totally play that.
yeah. That's awesome.
Now, here's the problem. It's in Japan only.
damn it.
Of course.
Thank you, Japan.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish, it's like, why can't we get all the Japanese stuff? And then I see hentai and I think, okay, good. That we don't get that. So, I'm actually hoping this comes westward, and because I would totally use it, and I would totally do the adventures of Japanese Stickman, but because I can't draw for shit. I think Manny's actually better than I am, and he's a what are you, Manny? You're a computer writer because you're a computer nerd who has an English degree, which makes no sense in my opinion.
It's the best of both worlds, Corey.
Best of both worlds. You're both artistic and intelligent. I see. Now, Manny.
Well, that's subjective.
Now, the last piece of news for this week. The last piece of news. This concerns you and me, Manny, because it is SGC, or
Oh yeah.
the Screw Attack Gaming Convention in Dallas, Texas. For those who don't know, the Screw Attack Gaming Convention, it is, of course, one of the greatest gaming conventions ever made, and it is by ScrewAttack.com. And you don't know ScrewAttack.com, they're one of the largest independent gaming websites in the world. And they basically just have an entire convention dedicated to just hanging out with their fans and bringing in famous people like Adam Sester, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Game Over Thinker, Game Theory, JonTron, whatever. They'll bring a bunch of famous people and you get to hang out with everybody, and it's great. And now it is the dates for the convention have been revealed, and it is July 11th through the 13th. And me and Manny will be there. So,
Are we driving this time, Corey?
do you want to drive again? Do you really want to go
Oh,
through
yeah.
Oklahoma again?
Especially Veneta,
Oh,
Oklahoma.
no! I don't want to go through Bonita. I don't want to
Corey.
go through crack meth head city.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, Erika, so here's what happened. Me and Manny were driving back from Dallas after the Screw Attack Gaming Convention, and it's like, okay, it's late. Let's stop in this town called Veneta. And it turns out it was literally like a truck stop town where there wasn't a single house because all the residents lived in hotels. And
What?
so we pulled off to this hotel, and we're just like, and Manny's like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I'm like, don't worry, Manny, I got this. And as soon as I get out,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, excuse me, can you give us directions to the nearest hotel? And I see this guy walking towards us, and I see the group passing like a glass pipe around. So I'm like, oh fuck, we're in this situation.
Oh
So
my God.
it's like, so can you tell us where to go to the nearest hotel? And he puts his hand on the car, leaving a handprint on the freaking car that stayed there for quite a few days. I don't know how he did that. And he spoke like this. All right, now you're gonna go down the street over here and take a left, and you're gonna go past Relaxing. You're gonna look for the end, and right after it, if you just stop at Relaxing, you didn't go far enough. If you go past the second end, you went too far. That's literally 100% how he sounded.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous.
The guy had no teeth as well, so that even made it even creepier. So it's just he's like, sure. And as soon as I get it, I close the door and I look to Manny and just say, drive.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Oh wow.
So yes, we will be at the Screw Attack Gaming Convention. Will Manny and Tommy? I'm sorry, Manny will be there. Andrew and Tommy, will they be there? I don't know. Andrew, will you show up this time?
Will I show up?
We got a spot open.
We'll see. I'm working now. I'm pretty close to full time, so it's not that I wouldn't have the money. It's the time factor. Whether it would be, because I know right around July is again right where my finals are. So we will see. I will let you know later.
We'll hear back from you on that one, Andrew. Back to you, Manny. Now,
In about 20 podcasts.
In about 20 podcasts, we'll know. So, and that is the end of the news desk. And it's time to move on to the middle segment, which, since the lovely Erika is here and she is such a big JRPG fan, we will talk about JRPGs, more specifically, our favorite and our least favorite of this past generation. Now, I'm just gonna say this. I didn't think this generation was the strongest one for RPGs. I think there was definitely a lot of bad ones. Final Fantasy 15. So, I was like, excuse me, I don't know what that was. So I'm just gonna go out and say my favorite from this past year had to be Dark Souls.
Ooh, good choice.
And that's because I haven't played a game that challenging, but yet that's so rewarding at the same time. And what I mean by rewarding, I mean very intangible reward. So basically, it's just your reward is, hey, you killed the thing with 1 health left and you're about to die. Congratulations!
It's a really rewarding game. It's challenging as hell. It's just brutal. It's so brutal. I've had way too many instances where I feel like I'm gonna pull my hair out with that game.
I think
I did pull my hair out.
My biggest mistake I made in it is when my very first character I ever created was, I can't remember what the class was, but it's basically where you start out with a wooden plank and a wooden plank, an oak shield, a loincloth, and that's it. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna fight the boss I see, because I didn't know you're supposed to run past him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Corey.
I died at least 12 times until I finally watched YouTube and it says you're supposed to run to the left. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to leave. Okay, I thought I was supposed to kill everything. I said, so thank you, Western gaming specifically, for teaching me that I should kill everything I see first. Thank you. Now, who wants to go next on their favorite?
That's so
No one
difficult.
No one jumped
I was
in.
gonna
Can I
say,
pick,
Erica's our guest.
Yes.
Can I pick like 2?
Yes.
you be mad?
Yes. You have. Yes, you're the guest,
Okay,
so you get 2.
I think my 2 favorite oh man, this is really difficult. I really like Tales of Xillia, but I really like Ni no Kuni as well. So
Alright.
I kind of have to pick both of them. because just because. I just think that they were both such whimsical games, especially Ni no Kuni in that respect. I don't know. I really like Studio Ghibli films, and I thought it was like like a Studio Ghibli film come to life. It was just interactive fiction. It was a really great game. I thought the AI kind of sucked, but I could look past that. I thought it ended up being a really great game, and I think Tales of Xillia was probably one of the most impressive Tales games so far, and I've played quite a few now. Yeah, it had a really great engaging story for me. The world was beautiful. It was really lush, and even though I mean the graphics were pretty outdated considering it took so long to be localized, it still looked really impressive. And the battle system is just so much fun. I think I can't really think of a company that does that good of a job with the genre, with the action RPG genre. I think that they've really harnessed it, and I don't think any can do quite as well as that. So.
You know what? I completely forgot about the Tales series because one of the games that came out a couple years back was the re-release of Tales of the Abyss for the 3DS. Mm-hmm. And I think they literally made like less than 100,000 copies for North America. So I got like I got the first run, and there was no more runs after that. And it was the very first game I ever bought for my 3DS. And because what else could I buy? Nintendogs? No. So I played it because the only Tales game I ever played before that was Tales of Symphonia back when I was about 13, 14 years old, and the plot was like, as with quite a few of the Tales games, got a little convoluted for my 13-year-old mind, so I couldn't really appreciate it. And then I played Tales of the Abyss, which everybody says is like where everything started, or is like the best Tales game because it was like the original Tales game or something like that. So I picked that up for 3DS because everybody told me it was awesome, and I fell in love with it. But when you brought up Ni no Kuni and Tales of Xillia, it made me realize those came out within all of last year. And I realized last year was actually a really great year for RPGs because you not only got Tales of Xillia and Ni no Kuni, but you also had Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
And I don't remember the last time I basically ran out of battery on my extended battery on my 3DS, and I had to plug my 3DS in so I could keep playing. I've never had to do that. I've never gotten that engrossed in a game. So Fire Emblem Awakening would be also a really good one. I want to say Shin Megami Tensei 4, right? Yes. Yeah. Because I played that a little bit. However, I haven't gotten enough into it to where I can put that on a pedestal next to Fire Emblem. No. Actually, you know what? I'm since you have a second pick, as much as I would love to make Fire Emblem my second pick, it won't be. It'll go to Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core for the PSP, which came out in 2007, I think.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's technically part of last gen because Vita is technically next gen. So I dabbled in Final Fantasy VII before, and I love Final Fantasy VII, but that game made me love it so much more, and it fleshed out Zack and Sephiroth's characters so much more to the point where, like, for those spoilers, for those who don't know, like, if you don't know, why not? Zack dies, and I did cry. That's the only RPG that's ever made me cry, was Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. And that's because it was just like, I knew he was going to die, I didn't want him to, and how he died was so goddamn sad.
It's really good, and you're right, it does add a lot of depth to Final Fantasy VII. I like Final Fantasy VII, but it's really nice having a bit of that backstory there, definitely. And I mean, honestly, I remember when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, always thinking how badly I wanted to play as Zack. I just wanted to see things through his shoes, and then the game came out, so it was kind of like a dream come true in a way.
Well, I can agree with that. Though I still want them to make a game where you get to play as Sephiroth. Just be that. Just Final Fantasy VII Badass Edition. No, Manny, I know you're probably the biggest fan of RPGs out of everybody on the staff. So, what's yours?
Well, actually, before we get too carried away, I had a question for Erika. I recently saw your video on your demo of Bravely Default, and I was just kind of curious if you had some things to share about that, because it seemed really interesting. So I didn't know if our viewers would probably want to hear up about that, especially since it's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out February 7th. It's really great. It really goes back to its roots in terms of traditional turn-based battles. I don't feel like we get that often enough anymore. I feel like a lot of games nowadays that are JRPGs are infusing more of like an action element to them. So it's definitely very refreshing seeing something like this. Not only that, but it incorporates job system in it too, and I don't know about you, but I love my job systems. So
Oh, yes.
I didn't really play. Yeah, of course.
Someone's
I
a
didn't play
workaholic.
Final Fantasy. I didn't play Final Fantasy 3 on the DS, but growing up, I played Final Fantasy 5, like a ROM, and Final Fantasy Tactics a lot. So like I always really got to that and building my team and experimenting with different jobs, and you really got a good dose of that here. It's a really big demo. You could spend 10 plus hours on it. I'm almost done with it, and I'm almost at, I think, 8 or so. It's a lot. I don't know if what's actually in the demo is going to be in the game, but it's just, it's huge, and it gives you a really, really great impression of the game. So if you're interested in it, in like a turn-based JRPG, I mean, I would recommend it in a heartbeat.
Nice.
So,
Now, I'm still waiting on your answers, Manny and Andrew.
Okay. So, if you don't mind, Andrew, I can go next.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't mind.
So anyways, geez, man, Corey, that is a tough one, dude. You know me, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Hate it or love it, you know, it is what it is. And personally, I love it just because of the camaraderie and like the network of friends you can make on that game so quickly. And, you know, unlike some other, you know, online MMORPGs, you know, the community there is really supportive, and I like how they're quick to help you in terms of, you know, what's the best way to level up, or it's like, hey guys, I'm about to go into dungeon raid and I really don't want to noob tube this one, so if I could get some healers with me, that'd be awesome.
I've never heard that phrase. I've never heard that phrase. Hey guys, I'm gonna go into this dungeon. I hope I don't noob tube it.
Yeah. So there's that. I'll tell you what is a kind of a classic gem I just recently picked up for the PlayStation 3 is Valkyria Chronicles, and it's this one where basically and there's a couple of them. There's like Valkyria Chronicles, and then there's the second one that's for the PSP, and basically you choose these like RPG like characters, and they're fighting in this like fantasy like World War II setting kind of deal, and And what's so cool about it is that it takes something that we've seen a lot, like, you know, the concept of World War II, and in this one there's not really Germans, but there's this kind of Soviet Union-like group. But what it is it takes something so common, and then it makes it complicated by having the strong like characterization and plot progression. And what's nice is when you play through the game, kind of like Ni no Kuni, you feel like you're really going through like a movie or story, and not so much I'm just going through levels for the sake of beating a game. So that one's really fun. And I'm trying to think what else. I'm a huge fan of the Star Ocean series, so whether it's on PSP or even on the PlayStation 2, I mean, come on. And then I'm trying to think of an RPG that I just did not like. I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Oh, I've also recently gotten into a lot of the 3DS, you know, RPGs, like Etrian Odyssey. We were talking about, you know, the Tales series, so I'm trying to get into that too. But other than that, I'd say that's about it on my end.
So I guess that makes it my turn.
Yep.
I this is kind of cheating, kind of not. One of my favorite JRPG of last year, and it's actually a little trivia. My favorite game of all time, the original Kingdom Hearts.
Nice.
The reason I say that
You're
is kind
gonna
of
say
cheating.
Kingdom Hearts HD, aren't you?
Yeah, HD came out last year on the PS3.
It is kind of cheating, but I'll allow it.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's like my favorite game of all time. I remember when I was little, friends would come over, and we would stay up all night just trying to get through the worlds, and it was just one of those experiences. It was the first time I ever played through a game where I had to grind to actually advance, if you don't count Pokemon.
There better be a Star Wars level in Kingdom Hearts 13. I want key sabers, man. I want key sabers.
But yeah, there was never a time that I felt so immersed in a world, and I'm not sure if it was because of the fact that for the first time I was dealing with something so different like Final Fantasy in combination with something that we're also familiar with Disney characters, and the writing was good and the story was convoluted, yeah, but I'll admit it, spoiler to like a 10-year-old game or however old it is now, like the ending when Kairi and Sora are separating, like I bawled the first time I saw that. Like just legitimately. But other than that, in terms of last gen, not a ton. I played a game that I like but I didn't get too far into it, was Record of Agarest War, which is just a massive tactical turn-based RPG where there's like generations and kids and relationships, and it's so Japanese.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen
it's
fun to play.
It's fun and the story is good, but I don't know. But in terms of more like last gen, I just got a PlayStation 3 not that long ago, from my girlfriend, and I'm planning on playing a bunch of games like Hybrid Dimension, Neptunia, and Aguapaza, and White Knight Chronicles, and a bunch of other things like that. But as of the moment, like the only thing that I could really say is Kingdom Hearts, at least on the good. On the bad side, I have this game that I'm going to rip a Japanese asshole out of.
Alright, so now let's talk about our worst RPGs.
Oh, good question.
This is gonna be tough. I want to say
Oh, I know.
it's not Final Fantasy 13. It's Final Fantasy 13-2.
Like,
And here's my big reason why. Time travel. Never do time travel in a game unless you do it right. And also, don't make your protagonist be whiny as fuck. I'm sorry, but I didn't like Sarah. I didn't like Noel. I didn't enjoy their little chemistry or whatever they call that in Japan. And it just... I felt like it's just like, hey, let's put Chrono Trigger in Final Fantasy 13. It's just like, no!
No. Just no.
And it's just like, oh, let's change the battle system and add like a Pokemon-like mechanic. And it's just like, oh my god, can this get any more convoluted? So it was just like, well, I mean, like, how else to react when you put a complicated creature system in with a simple combat system? It doesn't work.
but Corey, you got to catch them all.
I don't, not those creatures, not those. I know, like, I'll just say this though, in battle mechanics and everything, it was technically slightly better than 13, but the story and the characters ruined it for me. Plus, I didn't like the fact I had to see Hope again. I hate that fucker.
Oh, Corey.
I'm sorry. Second, my runner-up would probably be Blue Dragon. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offend any people, but I didn't like Blue Dragon.
Fair enough.
It's my opinion. My opinion. Actually, you know, I mean, if I was to say a worst RPG, I mean, like, there weren't as many bad JRPGs as there were Western RPGs, but I wanted to say Two Worlds. That would have been my pick if it was just pure up RPGs.
It's just badness right there, man.
Oh, no, has anybody ever seen the ending of it? It's
Nope.
oh my god, it's terrible.
Oh no.
Oh.
We all go watch it online after this.
Oh, don't, because you'll just
Nobody
waste.
want to.
Because you'll just wait.
Let
You'll
it
waste 10 minutes of your life.
Yeah, but it's better than wasting like 40 plus hours. Probably longer, actually. Right?
I imagine so,
Yeah.
but like, I love it how like they're going. It's just like this game is gonna be the next Oblivion. It's just like,
No.
and then you go up and it's like asking guy. It's like, hey, it's like, hey, where can I find this nearest town? You're going in the wrong way, pal. When you ask him where the nearest town is, and he doesn't tell you where the town is, it's like you're going in the wrong way, pal.
And everyone has sausage links for arms. Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, yes.
It is absolutely terrible. No. Who wants to go with their absolute worst?
I will, Corey.
You will?
I will. Oh my goodness, I hate it so much, and it upsets me because I can't even remember the name of it. It was a PSP JRPG, which there's a lot of them on there, but
There is a
There was this
lot
com-
on there.
Yeah.
there are a lot on there. So if any of you know what I'm talking about or the name of it, let me know. It has you start off in a high school, and like everyone, there's starting to be these random people come to this high school, and you're like this player, and everyone has these avatars, and the battle system is like you go through these dungeons to get keys and to be able to fight the other avatars, and if you die, it's game over. It's just gone. And the whole battle system is like, okay, heavy, light, guard. And it's like you have to counter the other person, and it's so stupid. I know I'm doing a pretty crappy job of explaining it.
Yeah,
but
but
the
I mean,
story,
I have a vague idea what you're talking about. I do.
I
So
cannot
I'm
remember
surprised.
the
I'm really surprised you didn't say Corpse Party.
Course Party's not an RPG, and fuck you.
I forced Andrew to review Corpse Party, which is it's a game with no replay value, but it is probably the most terrifying 16-bit game you could possibly ever play. So,
Oh man.
and poor Andrew, he played it in the dark.
That's because I'm.
Oh.
I literally after that I couldn't sleep. I stayed up all night one night. I still hate you so much.
Okay, I'll finally say it. I'm sorry.
You liar.
You saw through it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you were so heartfelt, Corey.
I mean, I can honestly say, I can feel your pain. It is absolutely terrifying. I have actually had a sleepless night because of it. But, yeah. To me, it was still funny. Come on.
Just seriously, go jump off a bridge somewhere.
All right.
He left. Good. Now it's just me, Manny, and Erika. If I had to pick a second one, I'm not sure if it actually counts as a JRPG, and I might get some hate for this, but I don't like Skyrim.
Get the fuck
Fair
out. I'm just kidding. No, and I can
Yeah,
see why you like Skyrim. It's very tedious. It takes a long time to do anything.
Yeah, I don't like combat. Combat sucks, and
In first person?
both. Anyway, it's just I personally I'm not a fan of it. I just don't think it's a very. I understand like the actual story of it. It's good in that respect, but the actual gameplay, and I was never able to fully immerse into Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, any of them. And
No,
I've
it's
given them all
kind
the-
of like how Skyrim wasn't my 2011 game of the year. Because of that, I thought the combat was a tad clunky.
But yeah, I mean, if I remember the name of that RPG, I will let you guys know to stay far, far away.
Sounds pretty bad.
But Andrew, I thought you loved terrible games. Otherwise, why would I get you a copy of Barney's Sing-Along Adventures?
Well, okay, hold on. Let me clarify something here. If I go into a game knowing that it's going to be subpar, then I find joy in things within the game. Like, for example, Big Bumpin', which was one of the 3 Burger King games. I adore that game. It is the premier bumper car experience on the 360. I don't care what anyone says. But
We're kind of like like Sneak King is the best stealth game in a generation.
Yeah, okay. But when I go into a game, like whatever the hell that was called, and I like the art style, and I hear that has a good story, and, you know, all these different things, and I expect it to be good, with being dealt with nothing but dead ends, where the game just ends, you have to start all over, because there's no autosave, and a lot of games today have autosave, which I guess you can consider that to be part of my fault, but it was so frustrating, and it was the worst PSP game I probably ever played, other than the 13th birthday, or whatever the hell it was called.
That was supposed to be like from the Parasite Eve series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, it was a
I played it
sequel to-
because I was worried.
I mean, there were some great RPGs on there. I played a Tales game on the PSP and put a lot of hours into it.
Fantasy Star.
Fantasy Star Portable, or whatever it was called. I'm really bad with names, I guess. And the Valkyria Chronicles game that was on PSP. Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah, which should have come out.
PSP RPG.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna retract my statement about Blue Dragon, and I'm gonna change it to Final Fantasy All the Bravest.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good pick.
Because
That's
two Final Fantasy games on my worst list. But no, for those who don't know, Final Fantasy All the Bravest, basically it's advertised as a infinite boss fight game where you just fight bosses with your favorite characters and everything. And he says it's an action-packed experience. What they don't tell you is literally all you can tell your characters to do is to attack. That's it. They don't do spells or anything. They just attack, and the only way you can do that is just by tapping the screen. So there is no like actual menu system or anything. And to make it even worse, to get the characters, you have to pay $1 per character, but the characters are randomized. Hey, you wanted Cloud or Vincent? Well, you get Cat Sith instead. Fuck you. It just really just spits in your face. So, yeah, that's definitely that's way worse than 13.2 in my opinion. Yeah. So I mean, at least 13.2 didn't charge me for every encounter I had. Hi, would you like another one of these pet creature things? That's $5.
Yeah, that would be pretty horrible if it turned into like a freemium game.
Oh my god. We are now announcing that Final Fantasy 15 is now free to play.
Oh, and then you pay for all the items. It's like, no. Or like, because in a premium game, you can just like, you wait 5 minutes to get your energy back. It's like, no.
Or no Kingdom Hearts where they charge you to access levels or different worlds.
Oh god.
I better shut up right now before they start to get ideas.
I'm gonna have nightmares now. Don't do this.
Okay, I am legitimately waiting. Okay,
if you want to access Star Wars Land, you have to buy the George Lucas DLC edition.
Would anyone else be willing to play a Square Enix like MOBA game? I'm just saying that'd be pretty awesome.
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
I know,
and they could totally do it. They could totally do a Final Fantasy MOBA. they have the IP and they have the IP like back catalog to do it with all the characters and everything they have. I don't trust them. And the only reason I'm trusting Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 is because it's made by the Kingdom Hearts guy, and last I checked, he doesn't fuck shit up. So
I mean that's true, but in my opinion, to make a good MOBA, you need a good backlog of characters. Which if Disney ever made a MOBA, which doesn't sound stupid, but like since they own Marvel and Star Wars and Disney, that would be probably the best MOBA ever made.
they're pretty damn close to having a MOBA already with Disney Infinity.
I mean, in a sense, I guess it's more like Skylanders now.
Well, it's more of like a Diablo. It's a loot fest, but literally all they would have to do is change it to be an all PvP game. Boom! You got a Disney Infinity's now a MOBA.
God, that would be a money sucker. Skylanders turn MOBA.
Yeah, maybe they should do a MOBA where they have like collectible figurines.
Oh,
Oh
what if
my
Nintendo
goodness.
did a MOBA? Oh wait, that's called Smash Brothers. What am I saying?
Oh my goodness. Dynasty Warriors Zelda, I am so happy.
Manny kind of wet his pants when he saw that one, because for those who don't know, Manny is a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors.
So am I. To quote Manny
Yeah.
from the podcast, Dynasty Warriors is like putting bacon bits on a meal. You can't go wrong.
Exactly.
Now, I think now has everybody given their worst? No, Manny hasn't.
And Erica hasn't.
Oh,
either,
Erica
I
hasn't
believe.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
hear Erica's first.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, you know what? I will. For me, this one was more of like I had high hopes for it, and then it ended up being a big disappointment. Was Time and Eternity? I don't know if you heard of that game.
Yeah. I've
Oh
heard-
yeah.
It's
yeah.
a pretty it's a beautiful game, and I thought it was really cool how it tried to take this hand-drawn style and put it like anime style and put it into a 3D world. So it really tried to infuse like that anime feel, kind of like how I feel like Asura's Wrath was like an interactive anime in a way, right?
It's Dragon Ball.
It was. Yeah, or like North Star, like that was perfect. I think that the way that Time and Eternity was done, it was so clunky. It was so clunky, and the way that the characters ended up working in the 3D world, they looked so bad. And there were just so many problems with it where it's like, it's a cool idea. It's something that I've never seen a company do before, and I think it was an interesting risk to take, but I think overall it was just a big flop. Like, it was such a disappointment. And I was just thinking there, I'm like, how can I pick like a really disappointing game for me? And I guess it's just like, for me, it would have to be something that I wanted to be good. I really wanted to be good, and then just it fell flat.
Well, then I can
That's
see why they
definitely-
designed their box the way they did, where it's basically full of scantily clad women on a bed. Or was that a bed? No. I don't know what they're lying on, but
I mean, was it the worst 40 hours you've ever put it through a game?
The battle system's just really weird. It's kind of like I know some people like to consider it almost like Punch-Out a bit. So it's supposed to be like an action RPG, but it's strange. Like, it's a cool idea, but it's strange, and it looks strange, and it feels strange. And when you're walking around on the world map, it looks really, really weird, and the voice acting was bad, and there's just too much I just hated about that game. Way too much. Like, I wanted to like it so much, and I was like, oh, I hate this. I don't want to play anymore. Yeah.
When
you'd
you
have
said-
to be like pretty sadistic if you want to play that one, I feel.
when you said Punch Out, first thing that popped into my head was Final Fantasy Punch Out Edition. Fight your favorite Final Fantasy boss characters.
There is actually
We're having a boxing
fighting
match with
game.
Sephiroth and Bahamut.
They had a fighting game on the PlayStation 1 where you could play as like Cloud, and I believe you could play as Sephiroth. what is it called? Einhander? Is it Einhander?
Einhander's awesome.
Einhander. Yeah, I think that's what it was called, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that wasn't it.
Are you
Well,
at Dissidia? No.
No, that's a shooter. That's a shooter. No,
No,
that's
Dissidia
a
is
different
shooter.
Final Fantasy
well,
PSX.
whether you guys need to look
Okay.
up the Einhander soundtrack on YouTube. It's an awesome soundtrack.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's Urgeist. It's Urgeist.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, what is it? I was like, it's just a letter E, but I can't remember. Yeah. So you can technically, or I guess you could play whatever that Dissidia.
All right. Now let's see. Who hasn't gone?
Manny's
yeah.
the only one left.
So wrap it up. Okay, I had enough time, so
Yeah,
no, actually,
damn right you had
this,
enough time.
this game, I had
God, he took a time and eternity.
I know. I had mega high hopes for this game, and when they said that it was huge in Japan and had little success or of a following over here, and I'm like, oh, sounds like Dynasty Warriors. So I pick up this game and I play it, and I'm like, man, there is no tutorial or anything to explain it, and it is none other than Monster Hunter 3. And it was so bad, I even lent it to my best friend Corey.
You're
and I'm
an
like, dude,
ass.
I'm like, play this. Like, play this, Corey. Tell me I'm wrong. And apparently I wasn't.
No. Like
So-
Monster Hunter isn't bad. It's just that they don't explain shit.
And this is the 3DS version I'm talking about, by the way.
Yeah.
And that was the big problem. They didn't explain anything. They throw you in this island of monsters, and it's like it's actually very detailed and intricate setup. The only problem is, since it doesn't have a decent tutorial to show you that, it's just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna have to do research online to find out. Oh, you can chop up the monsters into bits, and then
or like I was like
Yeah.
messing around. It's just like, I wonder what this button does. Oh, I just drank my last potion. Oh, there's a boss. There's a boss right next to me. Shit.
exactly. Or you'd see this monster and you'd have this awesome weapon. You're like, oh, I can take it on easily. And then you come to find out that just because your weapon is big doesn't mean it's going to do a lot of damage, especially against that monster during the daylight versus the nighttime. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how's anyone supposed to know this? So, I mean, it looked very promising, and I'm sure the Wii is probably an entirely different
And I
experience.
bet Monster Hunter 4 will be better.
Yes.
But
Sadly, it was none of that can be said for the 3DS version, or at least in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe others loved it. I mean, what did you
well,
think?
I mean,
Corey? It
I know
sounds
that
like
a lot
you're-
of people love it.
a lot as in like a decent population, but definitely not
But, like-
so in Japan,
Well, it's just weird. Like, there's people who don't like Monster Hunter, and then there's the people that do like Monster Hunter, and they're fucking fanatics about it.
They are.
That's what I was gonna say. Literally, everyone who plays games at my college, everyone who has a handheld plays Monster Hunter. I have a friend Matt was staying over here for a few days, and he said he completed Monster Hunter 3 United on 3DS, so he completely wiped everything and started over.
What the?
He had
Really?
he had everything.
That's intense.
So literally, I think
Does he
Monster Hunter is a fun. No, he doesn't. That's all. Like he says, like the two things he plays Pokemon and he plays Monster Hunter, and he just grinds and grinds and grinds. Like, but I think Monster Hunter is a fun game, but you need someone to be able to tell you what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it is definitely an entirely different experience if you're playing like online with other people. I mean,
But
heck,
when you're
you see
by
that in-
yourself,
Yeah. I mean, heck, look at the anime Haganai. I mean, that's part of one of the episodes where the characters get together and they play like this off version of Monster Hunter. So yeah.
yeah. So, is that your choice, Manny? Is Monster Hunter?
It is my choice. It is.
People of the internet, if you have been offended by our choices, remember that it is our choices and our opinions, and you can take your own opinion and cram it. So, it is time to move on to my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for people doing stupid shit. Hit the music, Manny. Go. Andrew, you
It's
got
even
people
cooler
doing
when
stupid
Tommy's
shit.
here.
Well, Corey, I told you before, and I hate to disappoint you, but I turned on my computer. Because I'm recording this on my phone for anyone who doesn't know. I turned on my computer, and it instantly turned off. And it said, please wait 45 minutes to an hour as we are installing a Windows update. So I have no way to look at the internet right now.
People doing stupid shit, folks. Microsoft. Okay.
Sorry to disappoint you guys,
No,
but
it's-
that's Microsoft for you.
And that's our shortest people doing stupid shit ever.
Just Microsoft at the end.
Thank you, Microsoft. Anyways, let's move on to our final segment, and that is shout-outs.
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
I can get it started off if you want.
All right.
I already know what you're gonna say, you bastard.
Let's see. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Okay, shout out is. Don't worry, I'm still on this planet. Let's see. It's definitely going to be an anime. And in this case, it's going to go to the show called Black Lagoon. And basically, if anyone's like, what the heck is Black Lagoon? Is that about the that monster from the Black Lagoon? I'm like, no, dude. Black Lagoon is about this ragtag group of mercenaries / smugglers who are like patrol around, the South Asian seas. And basically, they sell like arms and drugs and that kind of stuff, not that they're in it themselves, but by selling the items it makes money for them. But what makes the story so interesting is that you have these strong characters that are not only complex themselves, but they take something as simple as like a drug run or a heist and turn it into something very political and so personal. You're like, wow, this is intense. But it's the highlight of the show itself is probably the main character, which is this girl named Revi. And if you ever look up Black Lagoon, you'll see like semi fan service pictures of her. But putting that aside, what makes her so cool is not only is she this tough badass leader of a woman, but she's very complicated on the inside too. So as an audience member, you're just like, wow, I mean, you can pack so much in this short, like 24 episode series. But it's definitely well worth watching. And, for those people who are like, well, why would I watch it? There's a lot of guns, a lot of action, a lot of cursing, not so much sensual fan service, which I like. We don't need that too much. But there's definitely a lot of depth and content. So highly recommend it. Again, it's called Black Lagoon.
All right.
That's a great one.
My shout out is going to go to YouTube channel Douchebag Chocolate,
Yes!
which Manny introduced me to his channel a while back. And what sold me is his little Let's Play video of a Left 4 Dead mods, where basically it's just filled with Left 4 Dead mods entirely. And this video is titled Left for Dildos, Too Kawaii to Live, Too Sugoi to Die.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes.
I'm so confused.
Oh no.
You should share in the link, Corey.
It is like the most amazing modded Left 4 Dead thing I've ever seen in my life. All the players are, their character models are all the Vocaloids. All the zombies have been turned into cats.
Yeah.
Shrek is the tank, and whenever he appears, Smash Mouth starts playing.
my
Hatsune Miku
God.
is the witch.
Oh boy.
The main menu music is the epic sax guy. When a normal tank appears, it plays the Kill la Kill theme. So, or when there's a smoker, he talks like Herbert the pervert from Family Guy. He also has a flashlight where it projects Nicolas Cage's face.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It just gets amazing.
That sounds amazing. Oh
Yeah,
wow, I need to check this out.
It's an
couldn't
otaku
even imagine.
overdose.
I couldn't even imagine what the thought process of what they were trying to accomplish. This needs more Nicolas Cage. Cats. This. That. Perfect.
It
And let's throw Shrek into the mix.
Oh god. What are you doing in my swamp?
Oh, no.
Right, and he just smacks you. Goodness gracious.
Oh man. So yes, he also does hilarious anime reviews.
Yes.
I think my favorite one he did was the pet girl of Sakura So.
Yeah.
Where he's just like talking in review, and all of a sudden, like he notices the main character does something stupid. He's like, "Oh my god, she's so retarded." She's like, she doesn't know how to eat rice. She's just sticking it on her face.
Yeah.
Aw.
He has an amazing channel. So douchebag chocolate, everybody. It's douchebag chocolate, with chocolate without the E.
Mm-hmm.
Douchebag chocolate. I'm typing that now for future reference. Love my YouTubers.
Now, let's see. We got Erika and Andrew left.
Can I go?
Yes.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Absolutely.
This is so tough, though. There was so much I wanted. I don't know. I wanted to do one for Bravely Default, but I already talked about it, so that's not happening. So you know what? I'm gonna do one on an anime I'm almost done watching, and that's Canon 2006. And
Nice.
it's not funny or anything. Well, it is funny sometimes, actually. But how many of you have watched it here?
I've seen it. I've seen Canada.
I have.
And the scene where the girl turns into the cat gets me every fucking time.
Oh yeah, that's a spoiler. You know what? Because I was gonna say, probably one of the funniest parts has to be the jam scenes.
No.
The mother who makes that horrible jam. It's like death jam or something. No, but
I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, like, just a fact for everybody: Canon, Air, and Clanad. If you watch any three of these things, get a pallet of tissues. You will cry. Just a fair warning.
Yeah, so they're just based off of visual novels by a company named Key, and it's really great. Like they're kind of like harem, like Canon is like a harem style story, but it doesn't really get like explicit or sexual or anything like that. It gets into each girl's personal life and their personal issues, and it's so heart-wrenching every single time. Like when you learn more about these girls and what they've gone through and just their own personal grief and everything, like it's really sad and it's depressing, but I guess sometimes you need that sort of stuff in your life. I don't know. I feel kind of weird because it's like, what exactly do I like about it, but I think it's just because it kind of has that human element. Even though it has these supernatural moments in it, it's still very human, and it kind of touches you in a way because I don't know, it could just because it's so human, I guess. But I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm on the second to last episode now, and I'm just like, on the brink. I'm just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? So it's been really good. So I definitely recommend checking that out, and I'm gonna check out Clinad because I hear that's really awesome too.
I'll say this though: if you like any of the Kyoto animation, or the key adaptations such as Air Canon or Clanad, if you need any recommendations, I got two right here for you. Manny knows one, Anohana, the flower we saw that day, and then another one is EF, A Tale of Memories.
Oh yeah.
A Tale of Memories. Okay, I've seen Anohana and I really like that, but EF, A Tale of Memories. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
And
and
if you need
Manny are
something
like,
to like,
I'm just gonna say, me and Manny are kind of like the resident otakus here. So,
and if you need something to cheer you up, definitely watch Baka and Test, because holy cow.
I was gonna say Kill a Kill because that cracks me up and makes me go, "Oh my god, that was the most over the top shit ever."
So ridiculous. You know what show really cracks me up and is I feel is a really good slice of life type anime too is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yes.
That is a very good one. And it's so witty. It's so funny. I love it.
Oh
Yeah.
man. I love Keon, but goddamn, he is the snarkiest guy to ever live.
He really makes it in that way though. He kind of grounds everything with his snarkiness.
Actually,
Yeah, I just watched The Disappearance. Sorry, I just watched The Disappearance, and I was like, oh my god, that like wrapped everything up perfectly. I feel so complete now.
I actually read the book before I watched Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which
Oh yeah,
I guess for someone here in the States, that's a little odd.
I bet.
Now, Andrew, you are the final one. You are the chosen one, apparently.
So I've been watching this anime. You guys should check it out. It's called Bible Black. That's Bible.
What?
No. No.
Are you serious?
At least he's not saying Boko no Pico.
You know what?
Are you serious about Bible Black?
No, he's poking fun at us.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Andrew,
say.
you're a smartass.
Okay. No, it's just that's really funny that you said that because I actually have the school uniform for Bible Black. So don't ask why.
Cosplay?
Yeah, for a
Yes.
cost. I just really like their uniforms.
Yeah.
So like.
Oh, you
but
should
I
see
have
Manny.
to-
He dresses as Kirito wherever he goes.
Yeah. The elf version too. So as Corey says, "Ooh, you're dressed as a fairy." I'm like, what?
So now Manny is Manny the Fairy.
Chicks dig it.
It's hilarious.
What is? Oh, so were you being serious, Andrew, or? I can't hear you.
Hey, buddy, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
Are we just gonna do one of those?
What I was gonna say is that I was gonna trust your opinion until I said the last 3 animes I watched, I didn't like any of them. I watched Baka and Test. I didn't like it. I watched Gantz, which I didn't like.
No.
I thought it was good, but the ending sucked.
Okay.
Cool shout out I'm gonna do. I've been for the first time. I've been playing Shadow of the Colossus, the HG remake, and it is it's a stunning game, and 2, I've never played a game where I felt so small. Like I felt like I was just gonna get crushed like an ant, and it's amazing. Each particular colossi, like there's a different dynamic to each one of them, and there's epic puzzle solving. The only thing I don't like about it is that the main character runs like a derp. Like he runs around like the biggest derp ever. Like you're taking around these giant things. He's swinging around his arms like doo 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 doo. And I'm just like,
save the world and kill the Colossus.
Yeah, I know, literally. And like it's worse when he gets on his horse because it looks like he's barely holding on. Like it looks like Battlefield 3 beta.
I've actually seen like there's a video where someone's like they're dubbing Shadow of the Colossus because nobody speaks. Except for the light or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then so basically like it shows him like riding on the horse, and since he's barely holding on, he's like, oh my god.
Yeah, no kidding. The game is beautiful and everything, but that dude is a derp, and that is the best way I could ever explain it. Just derp out of derp.
Also, the ending. What the fuck?
Don't tell me I'm not there yet.
Oh, you'll go. What the fuck at the end? Trust me.
Okay.
All right, so that is the end of Pixels and Bits, episode 56. One of our longer episodes we've had in a long time, but
It's very
nonetheless.
Japanese. Goodness.
Huh?
This episode's been very Japanese.
Very Japanese.
I'm sorry.
If this became any more Japanese, we'd start talking about tentacles. Anyways, now it is time to end the episode. That is episode 56. My name is Corey.
And I'm Manny.
I'm Andrew.
You had to think about it.
She's Erika.
I'm Erica.
And we'll see you all next week, folks. Bye-bye and have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Bible Black. Google it.
Jokes.
All right. That's the podcast. Well, thank you, Erika, for joining us.